She was so sensitive. Like any negative comment, she would just cry. Like there's a time a doctor checked her x-rays. He said loudly, like, how are you still alive, you know?
Oh my God.
And then every time,
sometimes you go to the doctors and they tell you, you know what, you have 1 month.
That's the thing.
1 month to live.
Yeah. So they killed her slowly. And then there's a time when she wasn't walking. We used to go to the doctor with a wheelchair. Then people used to stare. You could see even somebody running, like, you know, they've seen someone with HIV. You know, when you lose weight, people assume that's HIV.
Yes.
And then she had wounds on the legs, so people would stigmatize her, you know. So she was just a sensitive child.
So most of her life, let me say, she was on that chair.
Yes.
And now it comes to this particular day, this fateful day.
Yes.
That everything happens.
Yes.
Can you just take us through that day? What really happened to the point where, you know what, you said you watched her take her last breath?
Yes.
Welcome to Unfold, where we see with a different eye and of course visualize with a colorful mind. My name is Hildah Lumati. Now, death can be so cruel. Today, Maryanne Njambi is here today to share her story on losing her 20-year-old daughter and the healing process. So I hope you stay tuned. Let's listen to her story.
Hello, my name is Maryanne Njambi, and I'm here to share about my daughter's loss. And I'm also here to inspire people, so that if you're going through it, I'm here to encourage you that God is there and you'll get through it. Thank you.
Maryanne.
Yes.
Welcome to Unfold.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for gaining the courage to come sit here and tell your story, because I believe the aftermath of speaking out is the beginning of healing. Now, you're here to share your story on losing your 20-year-old daughter.
Yes.
Something I can say is death is so cruel, like I said in my introduction, because it does not choose whether you're young, whether you're old, it doesn't even look at your status. When it knocks on your door, it can be so cruel, and there is always a time that will come and we'll all have to live, unfortunately. You have lost your 20-year-old daughter. I can imagine being a mother, carrying this child in your womb for 9 months, and then there comes a time she's no more.
Yes.
That is your story, and that's why you're here to share your story. Yes. Just take us through it. What really happened, step by step?
Okay. Okay, in the first place, I had a normal delivery. She had a normal childhood until around 15 years. So at 15, she got a cough. Then you are like, it's not going. It didn't alarm me that much. So we bought drugs in a pharmacy, just so you can treat a normal cough.
Because it's just like, I'm a cough, so it's not that serious.
Yes. So it got alarming when she lost a lot of weight. Like she was a skeleton. Then you are like, wow, this is not normal. So we took the step and we took her to a clinic. She was tested for TB. She did a sputum test and some x-rays. So they diagnosed her for TB. After that, she started immediately with the TB treatment, which is usually free, the government hospitals. She took the drugs for 6 months. So after the 6 months, it relapsed. Yani, it's like it didn't finish. So she had to continue again for 6 more months. You see, that's like 1 year. And you're not supposed to extend for 6 months. I mean, like after, you're not supposed to take for more than 6 months. So after she was done with the 1 year, she didn't get well. We were advised to see a chest specialist. He checked her chest. The lungs were damaged. They had holes everywhere. So now she was diagnosed again with a disease called aspergillosis.
What?
Yes. After the 1 year now. So after the 1 year now, she started treatment for the aspergillosis. So between 15 to 20 years, she's been taking drugs after aspergillosis, which completely damaged her. Because when she was going, she wasn't walking. Her nerves died. Like the drugs made her like her nerves weak. She couldn't walk, she couldn't stand. She was actually using Pampers, but she could talk. So she could just express herself in pain. She was just in pain every day. Then other diseases were there. There was anemia, there was diabetes. You know, when you see, like when you have one disease, other diseases have a chance to kick in. So we were treating so many diseases. Eventually, the drugs damaged her. Yes.
And did it affect you in any way financially?
Of course.
How are you managing?
Okay, first of all, we went from free drugs to very expensive drugs. You know, TB drugs are free. So for the aspergillosis, it was very expensive. We used to buy drugs, like she could use like 30,000 per month. And you know, if you stop, it's like starting again. So it had to be continuous. I thank God for my church because they came through and some well-wishers. Like, okay, my sisters, I would say my sisters also a strong support. So basically it was my sisters and the church. It was very financially draining and mentally, of course. Like when you're working, you couldn't, there was no peace. I was expecting, I was actually not in peace.
Yes.
Because I was like, I'm expecting a phone call, your daughter has fallen down or, you know.
You're living in fear.
Exactly.
You don't know about tomorrow.
That's the thing. And then she was in a homeschool. So every time she could drop out, there's a time actually she fell in a supermarket. She lost, like, we even thought she's dead.
What?
So she lost breath, she just fell. There's a time she also like passed out in the house. You're calling her, but her eyes are wide open, she's drooling. So such kind of trauma. But at that time when in the house, we rushed her to hospital. Then she was injected with the insulin, I think. She was diabetic. So we went through so much mental disturbance most of the times because you're not like living normally. It was so scary. It left a lot of fear for me and her small sister who's 13. She saw a lot because we also saw her taking her last breath because she passed out. She passed on in the house. I had bought her a big chair where she used to lie down. So that's where she took her last breath. We actually watched her taking her last breath.
And even before her taking her last breath,
yes.
Kindly tell me her name.
She was called Mobese.
Mobese.
Yes.
May her beautiful soul rest in peace.
Amen. Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
And this is what I wanted to ask.
Yes.
How was her personality like? What kind of girl was she?
She was, in fact, even if you ask, she had a few friends. She used to believe in love. Like the movies she used to watch was Romeo and Juliet, everything. You know, such movies. And then she used to be forgiving. Like there's a friend of hers who told me like she knew what forgiveness was. She never used to hold grudges. She used to, like her walk was with God.
Yes.
Every time she had a chance, because there was a time she would be well, like you'll see her photos, there's a time we did a photo shoot, she looked healthy, but those were steroids. So every time she used to get a chance, she used to ask like to go to a retreat, a Christian retreat. It's called Wendo. So she used to say that she used to see God there and she used to feel so much peace. And then she was very spiritual, like she started a fellowship for me and her sister, and I used to live with my sister that time because of the help and her daughter. So every time she would call us for fellowship, I remember it was at 7 p.m. sharp. She used to remind me, finish what you're doing and remember fellowship. So she used to start like, she used to be like the MC, let me just say that. She used to say like, let's start, okay, share what are the good things that happened this week, you know,
which
like
is something very important.
Then she would like say, do you have a Bible verse? Lead us in prayer, you know. It was a walk with God. Even it was just so spiritual. Yes.
And you're a mother of two.
Yes.
Right now you have your is it 13-year-old daughter?
She's 13, yes.
She's in school.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges you faced while raising your children?
Yes. Okay, most of the times, actually all the attention was with the firstborn. Because she needed attention all the time. Drugs, special diet, affection, you know, she was so sensitive. Like any negative comment, she would just cry. Like there's a time a doctor checked her x-rays, he said loudly like, how are you still alive, you know?
Oh my God.
And then every
And
time,
sometimes you go to the doctors and they tell you, you know what, you have 1 month.
That's the thing.
1 month to live.
Yeah. So they killed her slowly. And then there's a time when she wasn't walking. We used to go to the doctor with a wheelchair. Then people used to stare. You could see even somebody running, like, you know, they've seen someone with HIV. You know, when you lose weight, people assume that's HIV.
Yes.
And then she had wounds on the legs, so people would stigmatize her, you know. So she was just a sensitive child.
So most of her life, let me say, she was on that chair.
Yes.
And now it comes to this particular day, this fateful day.
Yes.
That everything happens.
Yes.
Can you just take us through that day? What really happened to the point where, you know what, you said you watched her take her last breath?
Yes. She was actually, you know, I was watching a doctor's program. They were saying when the spine is damaged, her spine was damaged. So when it's down, it affects the legs. So that day, she had said the pain had come to the neck. So when it comes to the neck, it means even the upper body would be like, even maybe she would be mentally retarded or have hands would stop working. So that's what she had said. And then she was so uncomfortable. She was like, massage me here, massage me here. She doesn't even know because she's not feeling. Remember, her nerves are dead. So she would tell you, massage, not there, not there. She was shaky, you know, not okay, all over the place, just saying things. Then she held my hand. She was so cold. The day now before she passed, because she passed on at 6 a.m. So she was so like, just not, she was just restless, let's just say that. So eventually she just took one last breath, then she was gone. And I remember me and her sister were watching because she passed on in the house. So her sister was trying to like bring breath, crying, no, God, no, you know. So she was so traumatized. She was so traumatized. Before she went to school, you would see her staring on the wall, like crying all the time. Like there's a time she had an issue. She went to look for something to wear. She was like, who will help me? My sister used to help me, you know, stuff like that. And that, remember, it was just during that corona time. So we were confined in the house, you see. So that day when she passed on, it was, I remember it was on Wednesday, on 25th, 2020. So,
It was during corona time?
Yeah, it was during corona time. So she passed on. We had to call an ambulance. We had a little hope. So we called them to resuscitate, which it was in vain, of course. Then after that, we had to get a permit from the police, like for a burial permit. So that after getting the permit, that's when the heirs came for the body. After that, she was buried on a Saturday. So we had gone to the morgue for, okay, was it on a Thursday or Friday? Then, yeah, I think it was Friday, even for her to take the dress, which she would be buried in, to take the coffin, the dress and everything. Then the burial was on Saturday. Yes.
How did this affect you? Because I can imagine a mother.
I know.
What? How did it affect you and even your mental health?
Actually, I took time to, okay, it's like I was in December, that's when she stopped walking. So I knew this girl is not going back to normal. I didn't say it with my mouth, but mentally, I was like prepared for anything. So basically, I think I was mentally prepared to let go. But still, it's not that easy.
Yes.
I was mentally affected. I used to stare most of the times. Actually, I didn't cry. We are told people mourn differently, but mine, I think I was bitter, first of all. I was bitter with God because I was like, I wish I miscarried instead. You know?
Because there are people who lose their children before even giving birth to them.
That's the thing.
And then there is this other time when you lose your child after you have taken care of them.
I know.
They're growing, they're discovering life, they want to, you know, fulfill their purpose.
Exactly.
And then it comes to a time when things are just not making sense. And like you have said, you got angry and you're just like, you're angry at God.
Yes.
It happens.
Yes.
You're like, God, why?
I know. So one day, it just hit me. Like this daughter told me, Mom, do you know you have another daughter? Yani, she's referring to herself. Because I think I almost got depressed. Then she just held my hand. She was like, anyway, if she's strong, why not me?
Yes.
And then I eventually discovered we're in this together. She also saw the same thing. She also went through the same thing. Because in school she wasn't performing well. She would also stay in class, not be social with other students. So I wanted to be part of her healing also. So that I came back to my feet, I must say, and just started concentrating on her. Although it also brought fear. Because I would check if she's breathing.
Okay.
You know, such things.
You're like, not again.
Exactly. Like I call her Faith, you know, she's called Faith. I call her, she's not responding. I go, I check.
Wow.
You know, it left a lot of fear, I must say,
yes.
a lot of fear. Yeah, so that's how it affected me. But with the walk was also this younger one, Faith, she also has a lot of faith in God. In fact, what she said, her statement was, thank you, God, because you felt I'm strong enough for you to take away my sister. So I was like, oh, wow, she still believes in God, you know? Let me help her believe in God, you know? So we're just trying step by step to walk the journey as we see what next. Yes.
And healing is not easy, Maryanne. It's not easy because some people say, this person is gone. Me, I don't have a reason why I'm here. So you realize people are committing suicide in the process, you know? And healing is a journey. It takes a lot. It takes intentionality. It has to come from within. So how has the healing process been like for you? And what has helped you start healing from loss and grief?
I think support system, first of all. As I told you, even the church was there. During the burial, they really held my hand. They came, they paid for the grounds, they paid for the coffin, they chipped in. And then even the spiritual support. I was in a group of women who used to send me Bible verses, who used to tell me, you know, at the end of the day, I don't like being reminded, but I don't like pep talks. So I like being told, oh, it has happened, she's not coming back, you know, such things. I think that's how now me and my daughter are that way. Like, and then we're pushing ourselves to try to be righteous, to see her again, you know. So small things, and even her, my late, she used to say God is there. Despite all the pain and all the struggles, her parting shot was, God is there.
Imagine, and you still remember that.
Exactly. Of course, she used to say, Mom, don't worry, God is there. You're like, it's okay, God is there. You know, every time God is there. So you're like, okay, He's there. So we believe He's working with us. And then first of all, also accepting. You have to accept she's not coming back.
Yes, that is even the hardest part.
Exactly. Yes. I don't like being on denial because she's gone. We saw her coffin, she's gone. And then another thing, it's like she looked so peaceful. And then we don't have nightmares, so she wasn't an evil person. In fact, we still have the chair she used to sleep on. Just, I don't feel like letting go of it, but it hasn't left bad memories. So I'm at peace knowing that she's resting and she hasn't left any bad vibe. Because you know, you can wake up scared, dreaming, you know, nightmares, but we don't have those. So I think those have helped me heal slowly by slowly. Yes.
How is Maryanne and Faith doing right now?
Maryanne and Faith are a strong support system of each other. I call us a power duo. Because after passing, we had to find a distraction. So we started TikTok. We used to do our thing there, you know. During Corona, you really needed something, So we started TikTok together. We are both models, although she's a runway model, and me, I'm commercial. But also she can do commercial, but her strength is walking on the catwalk. So I believe, I'm looking forward to us doing things together. If it's modeling, if it's singing, if it's dancing, that's how we strengthen each other. There's a shoot we did, a mother and daughter shoot. I'm looking to bigger things. May God provide us with that grace to at least be happy and, you know, while He shields us from other bad stuff.
Because it's only the grace of God that keeps sustaining us.
Exactly.
When you wake up in the morning, it is the grace of God.
Exactly.
And there are so many people who are watching right now.
Yes.
There are those who have lost their loved ones. their children,
Yes.
their mothers, their
I know.
fathers, siblings. I mean, it's crazy.
It's very
very crazy.
Yes.
And people need to understand life is precious.
Of course.
At the same time, it's very fragile.
I know.
One day you're here, the next day you're not there.
That's the thing.
So I know that so many people who are watching who have been in that shoe in one way or another, and it's been so difficult for them to just pick themselves up and move forward.
Yes.
Sometimes people feel that is the end of life, but actually it's not.
It's not.
The fact that you're still here, God is not done with you
Yes.
yet.
Yes.
Yes. So I want you to talk to them, those who are watching, and just encourage them
Yes.
and tell them it's going to be fine anyway.
Yes. Okay, I would like to tell them, like my daughter was 20, but she lived her purpose. You can live like 100 years, but you're still living a purposeless life.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter the age you go, but you have fulfilled a purpose. And then still keep going. Tell your loved ones that you love them. Life can take you anywhere. Like you can be here today, you're not here tomorrow. So ask God, seek Him, and treasure your loved ones and give them their flowers when they are still alive. Yes.
Hey, I love that part.
Yes.
Give them flowers
When they're still alive.
when they're still alive.
Yes.
Celebrate them when they're still
That's
alive.
the thing.
Tell them they are good and okay when they're still alive.
That's the thing.
Because unfortunately we wait for people to die, and then that is when you start saying this person was God.
I know.
That is when you start contributing money, and while they were alive and they needed your help, you were not there.
Yeah.
So that is one thing people need to understand.
Exactly.
And Maryanne, I want to tell you, don't give up.
Yes, thank you so much.
This far that you have come, there is a reason why.
Yes.
God still needs you today.
Yes.
He's
thank
not
you.
done with you.
Thank
As
you.
much as the beautiful girl is gone,
Yes.
I know and I believe she's at peace
Yes.
when she sees her mother strong enough to even sit and share her story.
Yes.
You don't know how many people you're helping.
Okay.
So you keep talking. It will help you heal more, and continue praying. Continue praying for yourself and faith, because faith needs you as a mother.
Yes.
So you cannot afford to give up.
Thank you.
She still looks at you even right now.
Sure.
So my prayer is that God continues sustaining you.
Amen.
He may continue giving you strength to keep pushing. I know it's not easy, but in maisha inabidi tu tujikaze.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm so happy that you came to share your story,
All right.
and God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
That was Maryanne for you guys, and whoo, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. Death can be cruel, but how you react to it will affect you. It's either you say, you know what, I'm going to pick myself from here, or I'm going to stay here, continue crying and get stuck. So my advice is, when you wake up in the morning, if you have children, tell them they're doing good. Smile, talk, laugh, share those moments, because you never know when someone will be gone, because unfortunately that day will have to come. What is your story? Are you willing to share with us? Unfold is here for you. How can you reach us? You can either call us, you can text us, or you can email us. And we also host mentors, psychologists, motivational speakers to just come here and shed some light in specific areas of life. And just in case you're willing to support our content, our till number is 5548597. Until next time, bye.